And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the second half of September, the latter half of September 2023. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's edition of ACAP Today, we're going to have a conversation with early care and education leaders here at Aroostook County Action Program about what everyone's talking about, the childcare crisis, and specifically ACAP's response to that crisis, and how we're mobilizing team members from our organization and others that we've been able to take on from other organizations that have recently announced their closure to be able to ensure we're offering as many childcare services here in the local area as possible. We're going to have that detailed conversation in just a moment, but before we do that, we're going to first get to the news and information that you can use again for the latter half of September 2023. And we begin in the news and information that you can use with the very topic we're going to be talking about on this edition. This is a new program that ACAP is pleased to announce. This is our ACAP School Age Childcare Program. This is the first time in many years that ACAP ventures into school age childcare, and it's happening in Caribou, the community that most recently was impacted by a closure of a large early care and education center. So starting this fall, as a matter of fact, starting very shortly, the Aroostook County Action Program will be providing licensed school-age childcare to the Caribou community. Now, this will include highly trained staff who will engage youth in fun educational activities, as well as provide time and support for school homework. Healthy meals and snacks will be provided, and it will be provided right within the new Caribou Community School. This will be offered Monday through Fridays. Now, during the school year, during weeks that school is in session, it will be from 2:30 p.m. at the closure of school through 5:30 p.m. to support working parents. And then during school breaks, they will run a full day program between 7 in the morning and 5:30 in the afternoon. Now, this will serve children from the age of 5 to 12 years old. And enrollment availability is open now. So if you want information or need to find a place to enroll, go to acap-me.org/programs, look for early care and education, and you can enroll there. If you'd like more information, please email Marcy Driscoll at mdriscoll@acap-me.org or call 554-4175 to speak with Marcy. Now, we are also out there looking for individuals to help volunteer, to help make a difference with individuals who need help preparing their taxes this fall. That's the Aroostook County Cash Coalition, which ACAP is going to become the lead for in the coming year. And we will be providing free tax preparation assistance to qualified tax filers who meet the income eligibility guidelines. We're not talking about the tax season opening just yet, but we do need to recruit volunteers so that we can engage in the training with the volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer or if you would like more information on this, please contact ACAP here. You can email us at info@acap-me.org or call 207-532-5371. We are in need of volunteers across Aroostook County. So if you're Northern Aroostook and would like to volunteer in either Fort Ken or Madawaska, we'll have availability there, as well as in Southern Aroostook through our Holton facility there. So please do call anyone across Aroostook County who might want to volunteer and help with this. You can also find out more information about the program at cashmain.org. We are also offering for expectant parents a number of services here at ACAP, including the Vitamin Angels program, which provides free prenatal vitamins available to expectant mothers and those who anticipate becoming expectant mothers in the near future. You can call us at 764-3721 or email us at info@acap-me.org for more information. These are multivitamins that help support a healthy diet and prepare women as they are looking to head toward childbirth. These services are available in addition to other services such as breastfeeding support and others through the Women, Infant, and Children's program. So please give us a call here at ACAP if we can provide help with these services, specifically provide you with free prenatal vitamins under our partnership with the Vitamin Angels program. We are also reminding folks that now is the time to stay connected, to stay covered. The Office for Family Independence needs to renew coverage for all main care members to make sure that they are still eligible for the program. Don't miss important information about your renewal. You can sign in directly to My Main Connection to make sure that they have your current mailing address, phone number, and email. That's www.mymainconnection.gov. We are also inviting folks to participate in a Maine aging study. Maine wants to improve community services that support older adults and their family caregivers. Now, if you are an adult who is 55 years of age or older, or a family caregiver for an older adult, Maine's Office of Aging and Disability Services and the Governor's Cabinet on Aging want to hear from you. Residents of Aroostook County can participate in a virtual listening session that's happening on September 28th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, if you want to register, contact James Moorhead, the Healthy Aging Services Manager at the Office of Aging and Disability Services. His number is 287-9200, or you can email him at james.moorhead@maine.gov. We are also looking to youth in this particular opportunity, as ACAP's tobacco prevention community educators are seeking to build a team of peers across the county who are interested in advocating for, educating, and empowering younger peers to make informed decisions when it comes to youth nicotine use. So through the help with the Maine Cancer Foundation, we are thrilled to add this opportunity with financial compensation for activities completed. If you or someone you know who is a youth is interested, please contact Chastity Holland at cholland@acap-me.org. Again, this is a paid opportunity, and we are looking forward to engaging youth specifically from Northern, Central, and Southern Aroostook County. MSAD's Adult and Community Education, MSAD 1's Adult Education and Community Education program is offering an adult driver training program at no cost. This includes 10 hours of individual driving lessons, 6 hours of classroom instruction to be held on the 11th, 18th, and 25th of October. The specific time is to be announced, but they are looking for individuals age 18 and up to sign up. So if you are in that age category and do not have your driver's license and are in need of assistance with learning how to drive, please register through the msad1.coursestorm.com search driver. You must be, again, 18 years or older to sign up. ACAP is also reminding folks that the Home Energy Assistance Program is available. The season is now open. The income eligibility guidelines for different size households are there on your screen. Please do call us if you find yourself in need of heating assistance this season and think you might be eligible for the Home Energy Assistance Program. We can help make that determination, so do give us a call. The FCC Affordable Connectivity Program is also available through getinternet.gov. This is where you can have a service discount of up to $30 per month on your internet connectivity, $75 a month if you're on a qualifying tribal land, and potentially a device discount of up to $100 for a qualifying device. Again, getinternet.gov, or you can call us here at ACAP at 764-3721. We have folks that can help you get connected with this service. And lastly, if we haven't talked about something in this broadcast, but you are in need of assistance and not quite sure where to reach out, we do encourage you to reach out to us. We have a team of navigators who are available to help to connect you with a variety of services, both here at ACAP and outside of our agency. You can call them directly at 764-3721. And that's this week's news and information that you can use. And as we noted at the top of the broadcast, we have with us 4 early care and education leaders here in Aroostook County, here at the Aroostook County Action Program. Megan Barnes is the Director of Programs for Early Care and Education. Katie McQuaid and Amy Murchison are both coordinators in our Early Care and Education Program. And Karen Page is a brand new coordinator for us as it relates to the First For Me program, which we're going to learn a little bit about in just a few moments. But first, I want to sort of start with a sort of a level setting and get everybody to understand there's been a lot in the news about the so-called childcare crisis here in Aroostook County, and it truly is a crisis. And certainly, Megan Barnes and you and your team help give me sort of your fingers on the pulse of where things stand right now with childcare in Aroostook County.
So as everyone is aware, we have been working with one of the larger childcare providers in one of the surrounding communities. Unfortunately, that provider had to close. So we worked very closely around finding and securing ongoing employment for the existing staff that worked within the facility, as well as trying to find ways to support families that were displaced from the closure into other childcare providers across the county. We were able it was truly remarkable to see providers come together across the county to provide information about openings, about opportunities, and really digging deeper into those needs for those families. We here at ACAP had recently closed 2 classrooms due to staffing challenges, with us being able to hire a large amount of the employees that were previously employed by this provider. We were able to reopen and uh, prioritize our displaced families, recent families, into the existing slots that were opened up, as well as open up about 30 additional slots from Limestone to Presque Isle centers to accommodate those needs of the families. We also want to point out that we are required to prioritize Head Start eligible families as well, so that we meet our Head Start eligible enrollment, which is required by our Head Start performance standards. But we were able to look at the eligibility of those families that were displaced and place a few of those families as well. So we're looking between 30 and 35 slots total, and they're going quickly, we can tell you.
And to other team members, anything else that you want to add specific to what you're seeing across Aroostook County? Katie, I know that you live more in the southern Aroostook part of the community. Are you seeing similar things across Aroostook County as well?
As far as in the southern region, I don't have any additional information about any providers, but just to comment on what Megan said, even within our own program, a few weeks ago, having to close a couple of classrooms shows that, it's not happening to just one area or one provider. It can happen anywhere, and that it has a huge impact on the workforce and those people affected by not having that care. So I think it just shows that even our program, even though we're mostly serving Head Start, we do have that childcare piece, but we still feel that instability in the workforce here.
And Amy, I know that Megan was just mentioning the process to get families enrolled in programs. I know that you work very closely with our enrollment specialist here at the agency. How is that process coming along, and what does it look like in terms of numbers of families that we'll be able to serve? And at the end of the day, I'm assuming there'll still be folks waiting for care, right?
Yes, Jason, as Megan said, between 30 and 35 slots have opened up. And as you can imagine, we have had an influx of applications, and not just, families who were displaced by that local childcare that had to close, but also just from all of our communities across Aroostook County. Our Head Start program year started this Tuesday. So we still have children and families applying to attend our Head Start and early Head Start. So it's been kind of a whirlwind. And the other piece is, our HR staff here at ACAP worked diligently and quickly with our team to help secure the staff from the childcare that had to close to come on board with us, thus allowing us to start taking those applications. So, it's the if this then this can happen. And so, a lot happened in 2 very short weeks. So it's just been a little bit of a whirlwind, I guess, is where I'm going to leave that.
Well, it certainly has, and this team has done, and all of the people that you work with across the agency have done a phenomenal job, from your own team to human resources to any others who have just been saying, what can we do to help and support you as you work through all of this and the huge volume of applications. One of the things that both Amy and Megan mentioned, of course, is that the human resource on the challenging side of things and getting folks to be able to work in this profession. And that really, Katie, is what you referenced when we talked about the classrooms that we had to close down. So in this particular case, as we were looking to transition, I think 16 team members from the large childcare provider that closed down, we were already working at that point at, if you will, filling holes. So the ability to grow capacity and the ability to really meet the need is really hinging on the workforce at this point, is it not?
So I can start with that. A good example of where we're really still challenged in meeting the need around additional slots and quality and qualified staffing is on our early intervention programming, which is really important to the community. We're the only provider for 0 to 5 in the county, and we need to have those higher quality staff to be able to fill those positions to meet the DOE requirements around those positions. And we really are challenged with filling those positions. We work with our local community college, as well as University of Maine at Presque Isle, to encourage. We do presentations annually to the students to encourage at least to come and do a field experience to see what the field is like. But it is very challenging, and the wait list is very lengthy of families that really need those services.
Anything else, Amy or Katie, that you'd like to add to that? Well, then while we're on the topic, let's sort of, we gave the overview. You mentioned Limestone to Presque Isle, so it's Limestone, Caribou, Presque Isle. Would somebody like to share with me just what we're looking at in terms of the inventory of where classroom and capacity has been added at this point?
Karen, I'll let you comment on that because you
Sure.
directly oversee those.
Absolutely. So we have added a classroom in our Caribou location. It is a preschool classroom with Head Start and wraparound childcare. It is filling up quickly. Like Megan, Katie, and Amy said, there is a wait list, but we are still encouraging people to apply to get on the wait list. We have a few openings in Limestone in our 4-year-old classroom still. That was a partnership we started last year and continued on this year. The Presque Isle area in Goulville has the preschool 1 and infant toddler classroom opening back up. I'm not sure about the southern region. Katie, if you have any more.
No, the southern region has stayed status quo, thankfully. So as I mentioned earlier, nothing significant has happened down there, which is good because it's good to maintain that stability with the number of classrooms and children we're able to serve.
And Karen just mentioned the partnership with the Limestone School District, but that's one of a number of partnerships with public school districts. Help just refresh people's memories. I know we haven't added any this year, but last fall we added a significant number. So remind folks where we have public school partnerships.
I can take that on as well. So we have a Valley Unified Partnership that includes the Frenchville, Madawaska, and Fort Kent school systems. We have our center in Fort Kent holds a classroom with students from each of those locations. And we also provide coaching and other comprehensive services in each of their locations. We have a classroom in Van Buren. We also are partnered with the Caribou school system, Limestone school system, PITC in Presque Isle, Dyer Brook, and Region 1. I think I got them all. Region 2, I'm sorry.
Add one.
And then also SAD 1.
SAD 1.
Yeah.
So a lot of partnerships, and really that's the direction I think you all feel things need to head in terms of helping to be able to meet the need moving forward, correct? Let's keep on the theme of partnerships then, Karen, and come back to you, because one of the ways that we're also sort of extending that work and figuring out how we better provide and build a network of childcare providers across the region is a program called First for Me, and that's a program that you've been tapped to sort of run the day-to-day operations of. So talk to us a little bit about what First for Me is all about.
Sure. First for Me is a pilot program where we are helping community schools and child cares, both family and centers, reach the families that might need some extra resources, some comprehensive services that we have access to. I also will be supporting those providers with professional development, like Rising Stars, a majority of things. It's a very long list. I think I've hit the major points, but Megan has more information.
Yes, and Karen's correct. With this program, the purpose and the goals are around increasing quality, around transitioning children to better be in a better position for success with public school, as well as increasing quality around the professional development opportunities that we can provide. And that's accessing internal and external resources for those most at-risk families that may not be what we consider Head Start eligible, but may be at risk in other categories, that we can really support their providers in supporting those needs. We are the kind of the bridgeway for them to be able to access those services so that they're in a better position to really be successful and ready for school upon entry.
And Megan, you and Karen have both been talking about a lot of collaboration and providing support. And that really is a theme that runs through this. Most people think about, entities that work in the same business, like a financial institution or whatever that, or, media, that you have your competitors, but really in childcare, and especially here in Aroostook County, it's about collaboration. It's about supporting each other. I recall that when we had to make the difficult decision to shut down a couple of classrooms over the course of the summer, that you were networking with other childcare providers to help, because it's about putting the family in the middle. And so it really is not a competitive environment, it's collaborative, correct?
Absolutely. One of the things that we learned very early on is we can't, as one agency, do it all. And it's not the intention to do it all, to be the biggest or whatever you want to categorize it as. It's about the fact of meeting a community need through the resources that ACAP is able to provide and support other providers in being successful. We want the community to really know that our message is we want to collaborate at all levels with all interested parties to be able to really meet the community need overall. Childcare is at such a high need within our county. When we look across the state, it's experienced at the same level probably, but there's more options. And it's about higher quality. If we can support other providers in attaining that higher quality, they're able to access stipends, they're able to access infrastructure grants to be able to help support and sustain their existing business and possibly expand so that we can greater meet that need. We have learned through some of the experiences that we've had very recently that those opportunities come with other providers, with public schools, with other entities to look at and problem solve around this crisis.
And speaking of problem solving around this crisis, one of the areas that ACAP had not been engaged in for many years has been in the school age childcare arena. We were primarily a preschool provider, and up until just recently have been. But again, community need drove some very productive conversations, and I think you have some news to share with us today.
We do. As of today, we have become a school age provider for childcare. And what this means is we've been in discussions with the Caribou Community School with RSU 39 superintendent. And again, this was started out as conversations around problem solving. One of the areas that was hit probably the hardest was the school age community when the local provider had to shut their doors. There was no other options, very few options, unless they were small private child cares for school age. Those children that are typically ages 5 to 12 years old that had no other options on where to go after school because their parents were working. So this this perpetuated a conversation with the community school, and we decided, let's try it. Let's work together to offer the best we can an opportunity for families to access childcare for their school-age children through an educationally based childcare experience. This, as of today, like I said, we were officially licensed to start operations October 1st, which is not very far away. We will be housed at the Caribou Community School in a couple of different areas of the school. And this was done very strategically around the age of the groups. We are planning to have 2 different age groups, one of a younger age and then one of an older age. And we will have trained staff from both RSU 39 as well as ACAP, early care and education staff, that will provide the care, will provide snacks, will provide education activities. I'm not sure why I couldn't say that. I apologize. As well as during school breaks, we'll have full day care as well as summer vacations. We'll be able to access the rec center. There's a splash pad right across the street from the school. So there's opportunities. There's also an outdoor learning center housed at the school that's all nature based that the children will be able to access. The playgrounds are state of the art, brand new, and we have access to all of that, all of those amenities at that location.
That's just phenomenal. I just want to say thank you to the 4 of you and to your team members. I know it's many team members deep and across the organization. And just to reflect on a moment about bringing this conversation full circle that you were talking about just a few short weeks ago, having to inform parents about childcare closure classrooms, which was absolutely necessary because of the crunch in the workforce. And here we are today listening to the tremendous things that you're doing to help keep people employed and keep people employed on both sides of the equation, childcare providers in this case, due to the loss of the community provider and their parents, quite frankly, of the children that you are going to be able to accommodate through the programs. And again, duly noted that it still doesn't replace all of the slots that are needed in the community at this point right now. So before we leave this conversation, what haven't we talked about that you folks wanted to make sure that we got across to people as it relates to childcare and our efforts at this particular time?
Jason, I would just share that childcare is not just a family with young children issue. It's a community issue. Without quality, safe, secure childcare, people cannot go to work or they can't work full time. And as we know, all across our county, everywhere is looking for people to come and work. And so, childcare impacts our whole community and how important it is and to support communities and partnerships such as the one Megan just talked about in our communities to serve families who are in desperate need of a safe place for their child to go after school.
Absolutely. I mean, if you couldn't have said it better, Amy. I recall, being in that classroom with the 4 of you to talk with the parents about, when we thought we were going to be losing childcare, you had healthcare providers in there. So even if you're, a senior citizen in the community who thinks the childcare doesn't impact you, it may impact the healthcare provider who you turn to, who needs that provision of care to be able to do their work. So we're very well spoken. Megan, did you say you want to add anything?
I just want to add that as an agency, we're always open for collaboration at all levels. And I believe that this is a time where we need to continue to network with other providers to be able to come up with those solutions. Starting up a new classroom or starting up a new program that allows access to various age groups is wonderful. And we know that it makes an impact on the communities that we serve overall. But the key is working in the same direction and working as a collaborative group within the communities. And I just can't emphasize that enough. Not one of us can do it alone, and together we'll be able to come up with a more cohesive solution to this crisis within the community.
And Katie, of course, we need more people to enter the profession, right? I know that you're working with a number of the career and technical education centers. We have classrooms embedded in Region 2 and in the Presque Isle Career and Technology Center. So we really need to, and obviously you mentioned working with NMCC and UMPI, we need to encourage more young people and not so young people as well to get involved in the childcare arena.
Absolutely. And for people to think about it a little bit differently, as Megan said, there's opportunities to provide early intervention services to that age group. It's more than just babysitting. It's education. It it's in public school as well, public pre-K. It's a profession. So I just encourage people to think about it in that mindset.
And Karen Page, you're an example of somebody who worked through a career ladder, if you will, and relatively quickly, I might add, from being a classroom teacher to now working with classroom teachers across Aroostook County to help young children.
Yeah, I started at the University of Maine and Presque Isle as a work study student through the program, and I've been with ACAP, including that experience, for a long time. It definitely helped direct my career path, and I'm very glad that I'm here. Thank you.
I love that you say a long time, because for Megan Barnes and I, who are a little longer in the teeth than you are, you're just, that's a long time in Karen Page years. It's a brief period in Megan Barnes and Jason Parent years, and I won't go into Katie McQuaid and Amy Murchison years because I think they're somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
and
right.
I'd just like to add to of Karen. Karen's a great example of really believing in the work that's done at ACAP around meeting this community need. And I am very fortunate when I look on the screen at the team. I know what they've been through in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I, as the leader of this group, couldn't be prouder of the work that has been done and the commitment that's been given.
I could not echo that more, Megan. Thank you so much. Katie, Karen, Amy, thank you not only for being on this edition, but for the long hours and the backbreaking work that you're putting in right now to make sure that as many parents and children have a place to be this fall. So thank you so much. Before we leave all of you and before we leave the others, we're actually going to visit with an old friend in this week's photo of the week, or a good friend here of the agency, and that's our dental hygienist, now our practicing dental hygienist. This is, of course, Lucy Morin, who many of you would have remembered from a past ACAP Today, and who maybe has worked with your children and even some adults across the community. She recently opened her new dental hygiene practice along with Sasha Korovo. They're both independent practicing dental hygienists, and they are actually under contract with ACAP to do school-age work across Aroostook County. I had the opportunity to go visit them during their open house last week, and we want to congratulate them on that new venture and thank them for their continued partnership with the agency. That's the highlight snapshot for the second half of September. And that's this week's edition of ACAP Today. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with a brand new edition for the beginning of October. Until then, have a great week, everyone.